Okay, perfect. Lydia Des Dolles, MA Connect TV, standing backstage at FitTalk in the Moat Theatre in Naas, County Kildare, with personal trainer Colin Finnerty.
Right.
How are you?
I'm great. Yeah.
So you're just off stage,
Yeah.
finished your talk. How was it?
It was good. It was. I simplified it. I think that I overthought it, and a personal experience is something that needs to be talked about rather than put on a PowerPoint. So I really enjoyed it. Kieran has a good event here in place, and it's something that should be prolonged, I think, past this one.
Absolutely. So obviously, for any of our viewers that don't know, the whole kind of premise behind FitTalk is mental health, fitness and nutrition. Yeah. What was the basis of your talk here today?
So I was talking about steroid addiction, something that I'd struggled with, and eating disorders, which to this day I still struggle with, but I'm in an awful lot better position than what I was. I think that's something that is very relatable, and it's not talked about openly enough. So social media gives you bits and bobs of what it is about, but again, most of us are bought into fast fixes and things that are probably related to illnesses like bulimia or binge eating or steroids, that we want a fast fix result that we can't get.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. And I suppose, you know, we're starting to see this kind of influx of eating disorders, of steroid addiction, like you mentioned, with the kind of rise of social media and the rise of kind of like the perfect image and, you know, an unattainable image. We see it all the time with you know, these Instagram influencers, models that are portraying a healthy lifestyle but really are abusing, you know, a whole host of different everything, a lot, right?
On, yeah.
You know what I mean? And
yeah. I think from my side of things is that I was in a position where I never was externally focused on what I looked like, and then you become so externally focused as soon as you start to change, and you start focusing on the minors instead of the majors, and you look at the things that haven't changed, and that's where you get bought into it. And 6-week transformations and 28-day plans are probably the biggest letdown of the industry. We have uneducated trainers, we have uneducated people who are posting stuff on social media, and we are being like absolutely brainwashed by it, in my opinion. So the people who are the main influencers do not get the attention they should, unless they're selling some sort of a tea or a wrap for something to fix something. So I think that the part that we might have missed out on in this is that it's an educational platform. It's something that is putting us in a position that not only will we be able to project health and wellness forward, it's that it's not something that needs to be taken as a small challenge. It needs to be looking at a long-term sustainable plan. So, and
it's funny, isn't it? Like, you see time and time again where people try to drill into the public that there's no quick fixes, it's a lifestyle change, you know, nothing is going to happen overnight, and still people buy into the likes of teas and supplements and different things. You're obviously a personal trainer as well, that's the day job. What's the biggest obstacle that you find with people in achieving their goals, I suppose?
The time frame. I think that they come in and when I say 6 months to a year, they nearly fall off the chair. And it's like, in all fairness, when I was the size I was, if you had told me that, I probably would have ran back out the room. So like, to be where I am now and to look at my clients where they are as well, I think that automatically we're in a position that education is taken to the forefront within a limited range of the industry, I think. But I think that if we can keep projecting what we're projecting, then automatically that sort of time frame in people's heads will start to change. And it's, like you're saying, lifestyle change, which is good in a way, but I think people take that with a pinch of salt, and then the if it fits your macros thing and all those things come into play, and they take the piss out of it. Again, the lifestyle factor comes into socializing and being able to actually have a general quality of life rather than going extreme to extreme, and that means to staying in to eating everything. So if we can find a middle ground and start to educate people on that, I think everything in the health fitness sector will improve.
Yeah. And how did you get into kind of doing the talk side of things? Because obviously you're well able for it. You know, you speak very well, and you've obviously got like you know, the educational side in the forefront of your mind, and obviously you have your personal experience as well, which is like, I think, is what makes people who do talks like this more interesting. You know,
I think that, like, this is actually my first major talk. I've talked in front of students in Hong Kong and stuff like that. I have connections over there, and that was cool as to break in and stuff like that. But realistically, if I can empower in some way, like, what my thing mightn't relate to everyone, and that's absolutely cool, but I can guarantee there's one thing that you'll take away from it, if whatever it is you struggle with. And I think that, like, you look at the crowd there today, and it's quite a young, like, adverse crowd. I think that's it, that we need to tap into that and not tapping into the older generation, and we need to continue to get into a position that if I'm going to continue to do these things, these events need to be supported, and automatically the coverage from this today should hopefully project it onto a second date and a third date. And it's not only this company that should be doing it, there should be other ones. I myself have tried to do other stuff, but again, it's such a neglected topic in this country. Anything to do with disorders or anything like that, or anything that is, I suppose, badly spoken about, that again, the images of Instagram has projected us into a position now that it's perfect image rather than progressive image.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And arguably, you know, obviously the main focus of today is also mental health, and there's kind of like that vicious cycle of mental health issues, maybe like insecurities, depression, that lead into addiction, that lead into all these different avenues. If there was somebody that was watching now and they're going through, you know, addiction issues with like steroids, like you had in your past, or any type of addiction, what one thing would you say to them about like taking the first step to changing or getting help?
Be willing to change. I don't think by you paying for a psychologist, a counsellor, a hypnotist, a personal trainer is going to change you. Yeah, it's a good step and stuff like that, but accepting that you need to change is the biggest thing. I think that people are happy out to keep spending money on things that they think are going to fix them, and that's what I was saying about disposable cash earlier is back, but being able to actually invest in something that you're going to take away from is the big thing. Accepting change and then finding the help to take that next step to change.
Absolutely. Yeah. What was the turning point for you?
I think when I talked it downstairs is that I took so many sleeping tablets that my legs stopped working, and I was just like, I can't do this anymore. There's no point in getting into a position that because I'm taking a steroid that's improving my image, but it's affecting every other aspect of my life. Why should I continue to supplement to think that that's going to help me progress when it only made me regress, really?
Amazing. Yeah. Well, listen, it's an amazing story. It's like everyone wants a success story, or to hear a success story, right? And give inspiration to other people. Where can people find out about what your work, your personal training? How can they get in touch?
So I have just my Instagram and my FitGuru page, and my Instagram is Colin_Finnerty PT. I always forget that. And a Facebook page. I haven't got a website yet, but FitGuru, again, I have my profile through there. I'm based in Swords in Dublin. So,
brilliant.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good spot. I have loads of friends in Swords. Well, we'll hook you up. But congratulations again. It was a great talk. Colin Finnerty for MA Connect.